This is Tony Cañas, Chief Motivational Officer at Insurance Nerds and PNC Client Advisor at the Jacobson Group. You own the brand, but you no longer control the message. I have been wanting to make this video for over a year, and I didn't know how to do it. And finally, the right story came along, and I now know how to do it. Tony Piloseño, a 22-year-old Ohio University student, was fired by paint giant Sherwin-Williams for all things, for creating a wildly successful paint mixing TikTok channel. There's a lot there. There's a lot to unpack there. So TikTok, right, where the crazy kids hang out. Even I'm too old for TikTok. Basically, they share videos and some of them go viral. So this kid, 22-year-old Tony Piloseño, fell in love with paint mixing, of all things. He was working at the paint mixing desk at a Sherwin-Williams store in Ohio, started making TikTok videos, and they started becoming really successful. And by really successful, I mean the channel has grown to 24 million likes and 1.4 million followers. For paint mixing, it's mind-blowing. Okay, so he got fired. He wasn't wasting paint at work to make his videos. He wasn't wasting time at work to make his videos. He wasn't stealing the paint to make his videos at home. He was literally buying the paint out of pocket and making the videos at home. He did accept the fact that at the beginning, the first couple of videos were made while he mixed paint for a customer, and that's how he realized that the videos were popular. But he realized that he couldn't do it during work time or with work supplies, so he started buying the paint and doing it at home. Also, he didn't skip over the local management at the Sherwin-Williams stores to go above their heads to the headquarters marketing department. Rather, he got their support, and they loved what he was doing, and they put him in contact with the headquarters marketing department. So instead of like immediately hiring him out of the store where he's making like $9 an hour and moving him to headquarters to work in their marketing team and reaching Gen Z, which would have been a natural move and a very smart win-win-win move. Instead, at first they ignored him, and then one of his videos, he used raspberries to create a color in the paint, and he called it organic paint. That post went viral, and it caused the company's customer service line to start getting a bunch of phone calls on whether they recommended doing things like that, which is of course unorthodox in the paint industry, to say the least. So they investigated his social media accounts. And again, remember, he had reached out to them to say, hey, I'm doing this cool thing. I would love to join the marketing team. I think that I can really help you reach Gen Z. But they just ignored him. So they started getting calls, customer service line, and they investigated his social media account, and then they fired him. And I'm quoting, they fired him for gross misconduct, including wasting product, and here's my favorite, seriously embarrassing the company and its products. Again, 24 million people, mostly Gen Zers, who are the population on TikTok, liked his paint mixing videos. And 1.4 million of them subscribed to get more paint mixing videos. Are those kids going to be going to college next year and painting the dorms? Are they gonna be renting apartments and painting a wall, or buying a house 5 years or 10 years from now and painting it? Whose paint do you think they'll use, right? It's mind-blowing. Basically, this kid, Tony, explained after he got fired and the media got a hold of that story, he explained that he fell in love with paint and mixing colors. This is the natural way for a Gen Zer who's creatively inclined to share what he's in love with. Create a TikTok account and start showing videos. And when he realized that very quickly that the videos were popular, he was smart enough or got good enough advice to not do it at work, to not use work time or work supplies, and to out of pocket, out of his minimum wage, probably minimum wage, I don't know for a fact, but I'm guessing he was literally working the paint desk. I'm guessing he wasn't making more than $10 an hour. So start buying the paint and making it at home. He did use his employee discount to do this, but I'm guessing there's no rule against buying paint with the employee discount for something other than painting your house. Maybe if he was reselling the paint, I can see a problem. Now, this particular story has a happy ending. He ended up getting offers from a lot of other paint companies, and he ended up going for a smaller paint company in Florida, and he's relocating to Florida and finishing his degree online from Florida in a company that sees the value that he's bringing, which is crazy value. And they bring it back to insurance. And this goes for every corporation and every employer, and it also goes for associations within the industry. You legally own the trademark for your brand. And you are used to not only owning the brand legally, but also controlling the message, right? In the broadcast way of communicating of the late 20th century, that dominated the late 20th century, the Super Bowl commercial, the ad on TV, the billboard, that created your message, and that truly was your message. That doesn't work with Gen Zers and with millennials. Millennials are the Nickelodeon generation. We didn't have just Saturday morning cartoons. We had cartoons and kids shows every day on Nickelodeon and the Disney Channel. And in both cases, we were bombarded by ads. And we have seen so many ads in our lives that we're impervious to ads, basically. We believe a lot more in what our peers are saying, especially when aggregated in places like Amazon, eBay, etc. When it comes to career, Glassdoor, we believe that much more than whatever your website tells us, either as consumers or as potential employees. Gen Zers are even worse, because Gen Zers are the YouTube generation, and now the TikTok generation. And they don't believe anything that looks too professionally made. Your professionally made commercial that you spend millions on, not very convincing. The guy on TikTok with a shaky hand camera, very convincing. And that goes for both millennials and Gen Z. We have to stop wrongly assuming that we own our message. Our message is whatever people are saying about us. And that goes for customers, that goes for employees, that goes for anybody that deals with the company. That is our real message. That is our real brand. You own the trademark and the logo, but the message you can't control anymore. This is a difficult world for traditional PR people and traditional marketing people, but it's the new reality, and it's only gonna go further on this side. So the kid who becomes passionate about mixing paint and turns it into millions of eyeballs is a very valuable asset. Within insurance, the kid who's passionate about insurance, who's passionate about working in your company, who's passionate about being a part of your association or getting your designation, he's a giant marketing slogan for you. Don't try to drive him away or her away. Because number one, it won't work. They'll find the megaphone. They'll create a megaphone. Number two, they'll define your brand. So work with them. I have myself and every other carrier person, and even agency person, but mostly carrier people that I know who became creators and started sharing on social media and created stuff that was worth sharing, podcasts, etc., etc. Every one of us at some point got in trouble with the carriers we worked for, because we weren't VPs who had been trained to communicate with the media. Even though we were carrying the message in a positive way, you can't stop it. You might as well join us. You own the brand, but you don't control the message. Your customers, whatever they say in public, and your employees and whatever they say in public. That is the real message.